A very warm good morning, good evening to everyone who are joining us virtually all across the globe for day 3 of JK Yog Bhagavad Gita Summit. It is my great honor to introduce Swami Sarvadevanand to you. Swami Sarvadevanand, the minister and spiritual leader of the Vedanta Society of Southern California, is a monk of Ramakrishna Order of India. We are honored to have him here with us today. Please join me in welcoming Swami Sarvadevananda at the Bhagavad Gita Summit.
And karma is kridhatu man, which means whatever we do, whatever we think, whatever we see, we are doing karma. Even my hand is not working, I am sitting somewhere, I am thinking, that's my karma. And the karma, whatever we do, it has its two consequences. It may be punna karma or punna karma, auspicious, it may be inauspicious. And if we do auspicious work, that has been all the activities done for the good of others, for the purification of the soul, for helping others, unselfishness, then this type of activities will result in taking one to heaven or afterlife to a higher plane. And where people perform inauspicious activities, that leads them, results to the lower plane of existence. And karma can be done with desire, sakama karma, and that leads to follow the result. Result is bondage. Because whenever we have some desire, limited desire, and then to fulfill that desire, we bind ourselves into sufferings and bondage. And when it is done unselfishly for anyone, nishkamakam, that purifies the soul. That whenever I do something for the good of others, it does not bring any bondage, and rather it helps us to free us from our bondage of suffering and pain. So we are here today. We have our all past. Hindus believe, we believe, many lives we have passed. Any thought we think, as it happens in the Patanjali's yoga says, when you throw a stone or a thought, I see, I do, immediately it creates some reaction. But that's not the end. It goes down to the substratum of the mind. It goes to the subconscious and it stays over there. So what we are thinking is all stored in our old stock, accumulated place. It's called the samskara in the mind. And we are carrying a bundle of samskaras or impressions of our lives and lives and lives. And Hindus believe that we have lived millions of lives, millions of life's experiences are stored in the mind. That is the accumulated. And that accumulated karma, out of that accumulated karma, infinite number of karma, some has come up. And that is the present life. That is called the prarabdha karma. We are born because of the impetus, the momentum of last thoughts and actions, resultant action of all our past thoughts and action, which gives the birth of this particular life. And this life, we are almost many places we are helpless because it is driven. The momentum has been set, and the trajectory is set, and our life is moving in that direction. Normally, that's why it says that karma, the consequence, it is giving the consequences. I have chosen something. Gita told us, when we leave this body and the last thought comes in our mind, that thought becomes the cause of the future life. So our present life is the last thought of our previous life. Last thought is a resultant of our activities of the last life, and also the impact of the old accumulated karmas, thinking and actions. So all those is now in action. Now it is the consequence of the choice we have done in our previous life. And that is coming because of the cause and effect relations. So these are all linked together and bringing to the law of karma that I am a present, whatever I am, to fulfill the last thought of my previous birth. That thought is the propelling force behind me, and that we call the prarabdha karma, or the action which is forcing the body to go. Given an example, someone throws a stone in a particular direction and with a force. Now the stone moves on in a trajectory. Now when it is out of hand, no one can say, oh, I want to change that trajectory. You cannot change the trajectory. But what we can do? We can disassociate with our actions, our attachments, our anger, our frustration, our expectation, which makes us always suffer. So we can do that. So in this life, what has already started giving action, we have no control over that. We know that that trajectory fixed. Our karma is taking us. That's why we say our fate. But it is not fatalism here. It is to understand the truth of karma, that it has started its journey, it has a trajectory, it has an angle, it has a force, and velocity is there. So it is going on, and it will end at a particular time when momentum will be zero. But in between this, we have one another aspect of karma. That means what I am doing now, what I am thinking now. So here is the important point, what I am thinking now. If I can make my future good, I can make my future bad. What is already, the trajectory is fixed, there I have no control. But I can now think positively by doing good karma, by doing selfless work, by loving God, by serving God, seeing God everywhere, prayer, meditation, japa, all the spiritual practice we can do to change our next birth, what will happen. Or if we are so pure that we can disconnect ourselves from the world, detachment. Disconnect means not going away in a forest, but detaching mentally, we can live in our own consciousness.
After a wonderful start to the day 3 of the Bhagavad Gita Summit 2021 with Swami Sarvadevananda, we now transition to our next topic and a wonderful speaker. As I think about the next speaker, thoughts of amazement, awe, and humbleness come to mind. We have an esteemed guest, Dr. Murli Krishna, who is going to speak to us on the topic of management for self for effective leadership.
Dukheshu anudvignamanaha Sukeshu vigataspruha Vitaraga bhayakrodha Stitadhir muniruchyate. For making any decision, a stable mind is required. What Arjuna lost that stable mind. And Krishna told that one who is not disturbed in mind amid sorrows or elevated with the excitement of happiness, and who is free from attachment, free from anger or fear, and is called a sage of steady mind, means that kind of person can have the stable mind. Because the imbalance in mind, if at all is there, one cannot perform the work in time. Knowledge, skill, and dynamism without any mental agitation are very much important to accomplish the task. A stable mind never gets disturbed by happiness or by any kind of sorrow. A stable mind is free from all kind of attachments and emotions and free from fear and anger. When a person acquires the stable mind, he can take the right decision to act upon of any kind of situation and any kind of task in life. What Krishna explained Arjuna. Further, Krishna told that the peace of mind is very much required. The quality of a person needed for getting the peace of mind, he explained further. मन प्रसादः सौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपो मानसमुच्यते. Cheerfulness of mind, placidity, habit of contemplation, control of mind, purity of inner feelings, these are all called the asteroids of the mind. So one should acquire all these qualities to have a stable mind and to take a decision that is the right decision on any situation. It's very important to keep the mind calm, stable. One can derive the quality decisions when mind is stable and one have the peace of mind. Peace is very important in life, and that is possible only if the mind is stable and not influenced by any kind of mental agitation. Quality decisions are possible with peace of mind.